Hello friends, so now we are to our next lecture, which is called the Standard Costing Part 5. In this lecture we are going to continue with the fixed overhead cost variance, and in this particular lecture we are going further deeper into the variance, since one part of the variance was left, which I want to cover in this lecture. So fixed overhead cost variance is divided into two parts. One is the expenditure variance and the other one is the volume variance. Volume variance is further subdivided into capacity variance, and then we have the efficiency variance. So just give me 1 minute. Sorry. So the capacity variance is further subdivided into calendar variance, and then we have revised capacity variance. So this is the part which I need to teach today, which was not done in the previous lecture. Now friends, the question which would come to your mind is that when to go further deeper and find the calendar and the revised capacity variance. So it's very simple. If the question is talking about days, then we need to prepare the calendar variance and the revised capacity variance. Those who are looking at part 5, I want you all to look at part 4 and understand it, and then you can come to part 5 and continue with the standard costing part. For those who are following the lectures, we are moving to the sum. So let's start with the sum. SS Limited has a normal monthly machine hour capacity of 100 machines working 8 hours per day for 25 days in a month. The standard time required to manufacture 1 unit of the product is 4 hours, and the budgeted fixed overhead is 1,50,000. Okay, so this is a tricky sum, but one thing you need to remember in this is that they have given us 25 working days. So when you have in the sum, when you have days in the sum, you should remember that the fixed overhead variance is everything is what they are expecting us to write in the paper. So this is a comprehensive sum which is going to cover fixed overhead variance completely. So I'm reading further. In a month, the company worked for 24 days for an average 2750 machine hours per day. The production was 4500 units. The actual fixed overheads was 1,60,000, and you are required to compute the fixed overhead variance. So this is a comprehensive sum, so I'm doing with it. So we are going to the sum. Now I will be preparing my budget and I will be preparing my actuals. The budget is divided into units. Then we have RR, which is the recovery rate, and then it is amount. Here also there is units and there is amount. Then we have machine hours. Then there is a recovery rate and there is amount. Here also we are going to prepare machine hours and then we have amount. Now this is something new. There is days, there is recovery rate, and there is amount. And here also there are days and there is amount. So now we have days, which is something more adding to this question. So now let's read the question. SS Limited has a normal monthly machine hour capacity of 100 machines working 8 hours per day and 25 working days in a month. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, my main purpose, my working note 1 would be to find budgeted hours. So budgeted hours, so I have a machine, it is working for certain hours and per day, and then I have certain number of days for this machine is working. So there are 100 machines and there are 25 days and 8 hours per day. Okay, so there are 100 machines and per day they are working 8 hours per day. Okay, so they are working 8 hours per day, and for how many days are they working? They are working for 25 days. So they are working for 25 days. So this is going to give me the budgeted hours. So 100 into 8 into 25 is 20,000. So 20,000 hours are the budgeted hours. Now friends, budgeted hours are there, and what do I need now? The budgeted fixed overhead is 1,50,000. Okay, so I can write one thing here. So 1,50,000 is the fixed overheads. Okay, and I think even units are missing. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, I'm getting confused. Give me 2 minutes. So these are the 20 hours the machine is working. Okay, so budgeted hours are nothing but machine hours. So we have found one thing, machine hours, we have found it. So there are 20,000 machine hours. Okay, then I know the days. Yes, there are 25 days in a month. Okay, so even I know the days, 25 days. Now friends, the crucial part is units are missing. We need to find the budgeted units. So I'll go further in working note 2, and in this I'm going to try to find the budgeted units. So how will I find it? So 1 unit of the product, the standard time required to manufacture 1 unit of the product is 4 hours. So yes, 1 unit requires 4 hours to manufacture. So the total machine hours the machine is working is 20,000 hours. So how many units can we manufacture? So I'm doing the cross multiplication. So 20,000 I will multiply by 1, then I'm going to divide by 5. So 4 ones are 4, 5s are 20, 5,000. So 5,000 is the budgeted units. So we have found this 5,000 units as our budgeted units. So it was quite tricky. So just we are going to recollect something. Now this is the budgeted hours, and these are the hours in machines. I don't want this net protector. Okay, so budgeted hours, so these are in machine, these are machine hours. So there are 100 machines, each machine is working for 8 hours a day, 25 days the machine is working, so 20,000 are the machine hours. Then they have said that one unit takes 4 hours to make. So in 20,000 hours we are going to manufacture 5,000 units. Now what I'm going to find is the recovery rate. So 1,50,000 I'm going to divide by 5,000. So this is going to give me a recovery rate of 30. 1,50,000 I'm going to divide by 20,000. So this is going to give me a recovery rate of 7.5. And then 1,50,000 I will divide by 25. 1,50,000 I'll divide by 25. So this is going to give me a recovery rate of 6,000 per day. So yes friends, we have done with the crucial part. Now I need to look at the question again. In the month the company has worked for 24 days. So yes, so here I can write 24 days. Okay, and for an average 750 machine hours per day. So they have given us 750 machine hours per day. So yes, 750 machine hours per day. So I'll do the working note down only. So we are going to find the machine hours. So working note 3 would be the machine hours, but this would be for the actual output, right? So I can say that 750 machine hours one day. Okay, so 750 hours for one day, and in actual there are how many days? So 24 days. So in actual 24 days, how many machine hours it would be there? So 750 into 24 is going to give me 18,000 machine hours. So I'm going to write this 18,000 machine hours. Okay, and the production was 4,500 units. So yes, the production is 4,500 units. Okay, and the actual fixed overheads are 1,60,000. So we can write that. So actual fixed overheads is 1,60,000. So now we have done the part 1. So I will be rubbing all the working notes. Those who have not seen the previous lecture, kindly go through it. Everybody needs patience to listen. Some might know the topic, but some might know the topic, but some might most of you all would not know the way I am teaching. So you should listen to the topic so that you are conversant with a new method of solving the sum, rather than sticking to the old method if you follow the new method well. Okay, so now our step, okay, so this is over. Okay, so we are going to step number 2, and we are going to find fixed overhead. We are going to prepare a fixed overhead cost account. So this is to bank. This is the actual fixed overheads which we have incurred. So the actual fixed overheads which is incurred is 1,60,000. So I'm going to write here 1,60,000. Then by recovery of fixed overheads by sale of units. So how many units I have sold? I have sold 4,500 units. So I have sold 4,500 units, and the recovery rate per unit is how much? So the recovery rate per unit is 30. So here it is 30. So 500 into 30 is going to give me 1,35,000. So friends, it's simple. We have incurred 1,60,000 rupees of fixed overheads. Out of this, 1,35,000 has been recovered by selling the units. So there is an under recovery, or you can say under absorption of fixed overheads, and the amount would be 1,60,000 minus 1,35,000, so it is 25,000. So this is done. Now we are moving further. Now we are going to start with fixed overhead cost variance, and we are aware that there is an under recovery of 25,000. So there is an under absorption of fixed overheads equal to 25,000, which is adverse. Then we are going to divide into two parts. One is called the expenditure variance, and the other one is called the volume variance. Those who are not following, see the previous lecture. So this is very simple. Your budgeted expenses minus your actual expenses will give you variance. So my budgeted expenses are 1,50,000 and my actual expense is 1,60,000. So I thought that I would incur a fixed overhead of 1,50,000, but in real I have incurred a fixed overhead of 1,60,000. It means I have incurred more 10,000 rupees. So this is going to give me an adverse variance. And volume is related to units which you have sold. So I need to find, the budgeted units and the actual units. So this is also very simple. Budgeted units I thought I would sell minus the actual units which are sold and into the recovery rate per unit. So I thought that I would sell 5,000 units, but in real I have sold 500 units. So I thought I would sell 5,000 units, and in real I have sold only 4,500 units. It means I have sold less number of units, so the variance is going to come adverse. And since I have sold less number of units, then the variance is going to come adverse, and the recovery rate per unit is 30. So I'm going further. So the recovery rate is 30. So 500 into 30 is going to give me 15,000. 500 into 30, yes. So now we are going to reconcile it. We have 10,000 adverse. Then we have 15,000 adverse. So in total we have 25,000 adverse. So is it tallying? Yes, 25,000 adverse. Yes, it is tallying. Now I'm rubbing this part, and then we are going further deeper. So now the fixed overhead volume variance is how much? So it's 15,000 adverse. Okay, so we have 15,000 adverse. The volume variance is divided into two parts. One is the capacity and other one is the efficiency. Now remember friends, capacity is the working capacity. It is expressed in hours, and a keyword if you want, higher is better. And efficiency is the working efficiency. This is also expressed in hours, and the keyword is hours for the actual output. Remember this, hours for the actual output. If you don't remember this, then you are stuck up. So I am going to do with capacity. It is related to working capacity. If your working capacity has increased, it means then the variance is going to come favorable. So it's very simple. It's budgeted hours minus the actual hours, and this you have to multiply by the recovery rate per hour. So very simple. Budgeted hours are 20,000 hours and the actual hours are 18,000 hours. So budgeted hours are 20,000 hours, actual hours are 18,000 hours, and the recovery rate per hour is 7.5. Okay, so 7.5. Now remember friends, I'm highlighting for you that C here, this part is very crucial. We have the working capacity has decreased friends. I should have worked for 20,000 hours, but I have worked only for 18,000 hours. My working capacity has decreased, and this is going to give me an adverse variance. Just remember this much. 2000 into 7.5 is going to give me 15,000 adverse. Now we are moving to efficiency, and remember these are hours for the actual output. It means we have taken 20,000 machine hours to manufacture 5,000 units. So I've taken 20,000 hours to manufacture 5,000 units, and in real I have manufactured and sold how many units? I have manufactured and sold 500 units. So in real I have sold and manufactured 500 units. So this answer is going to give me budgeted hours for the actual output. Remember, for the actual output you need to remember these keywords. So 20,000 into 500 divided by 5,000 is going to give me 18,000 hours. Now it's simple. Again the formula I have kept the same, budgeted hours minus the actual hours into the recovery rate per hour. So the budgeted hours are 18,000 hours, and in actual it is 18,000 hours. Okay, so in actual also I have taken 18,000 hours. Sorry. So in actual also I have taken 18,000 hours. So there will be no variance. And what is the recovery rate per hour? 7.5 is the recovery rate per hour. So it is 7.5 the recovery rate, and the variance is going to come nil. Now I'm highlighting for you all. Remember this part, and this part is crucial. It means I have budgeted that I will work for 18,000 hours to manufacture 500 units, and real also have taken 18,000 hours. It means I have taken the same time, so there is no difference in my efficiency. If I want to explain you, so you can take this. Suppose you have taken 19,000 hours here. Now try to understand. You should have taken 18,000 hours to manufacture 500 units. But you have taken 19,000 hours to manufacture the same 500 units, friend. In other words, you have taken 1,000 hours more. And this is going to give you adverse variance. So you have to understand it. In this particular part, there is no variance because 18 minus 18 is 0. Now, the reason for doing this lecture was not this part, but the part which I am going to explain further. So I hope you all will understand. So first we need to reconcile it. It is 15,000 adverse, and here it is nil. So the total is 15,000 adverse. Is it tallying? Yes, 15,000 adverse. It is tallying with the volume variance. Now what I need to do is, now I need to rub something. So what we have to do is, give me 1 minute. Now capacity I require. So what I will do, we know the capacity variance is 15,000. Okay, so I'll do on the next page only. Okay, so the capacity variance is 15,000 adverse. Now friends, you have to remember this. The first lecture, the lecture before this, is very important. Kindly go through it. We are talking about working capacity, my friends. Working capacity. And the keyword is higher is better. Now this variance is divided into two parts. One is called the calendar variance, and other is called the revised capacity variance. Now friends, calendar variance is related to days. So now we have to go to the question. So how many days? 25 days is the budget, and actual is 24 days, and the recovery rate is 6,000. So we have our budgeted days, then we have to subtract the actual days, and then we have to multiply with the recovery rate per day. So how much were the days? So 25, 24 and 6,000. Okay, so 25, 24 and 6,000 here. Now I'm going to explain you what it is. This is very important, and please follow the last lecture patiently. See friends, we are talking about capacity variance, and we are talking about working capacity variance. So see, the working capacity has decreased, my friends. I should have worked for 25 days, but I have worked for only 24 days. In other words, the capacity has decreased by 1 day. So this is going to give you an adverse variance, and 1 into 6000 is 6000, so 6000 is adverse. Remember this. Now revised capacity, I'm giving you a key, and the key to remember is hours for actual days. Kindly note this key, hours for actual days. So now 20,000 hours were consumed for 25 days. So 20,000 hours were consumed for 25 days, and the actual days were, and friends, the actual days were 24. So this you need to remember, and the actual days were 24 days. So this is 20 into 24 divided by 25 is going to give me 19,200 hours. These are budgeted hours. So budget hours minus the actual hours into the recovery rate per hour. So we are aware of the budgeted hours, which is 19,200, and how much is the actual hours? The actual hours are 18,000 hours, and the recovery rate per hour is 7.5. So 18,000 and 7.5. So this will be 18,000 hours, and the recovery rate would be 7.5. Again friends, the first lecture is very important. Have a look over here. Sorry. Okay, now see, we are talking about working capacity. We are not talking about anything else. 19,200, and now it is 18,000 hours. It means our working capacity has decreased. So again, this is going to give us an adverse variance. This is the key of this chapter. 19,200 minus 18,000 into 7.5 is going to give me 9,000 adverse. So I'm going to reconcile both. So we have 6,000 adverse, which is this. We have 9,000 adverse, so the total comes to 15,000 adverse. Is it telling? Yes, it is telling, friends. 15,000 adverse. Please go through the first lecture, listen it patiently. This will help you to understand the chapter completely. Thank you all.